Okay, we have the pleasure here today of having a real guest, Jeffrey Bishop, who is really a diner aficionado. He's taken pictures and studied a whole history of diners, and apparently it's such a small world that he actually was aware of Betty Roof's diner, which was in Wysox for a while. So let me switch it over to you. And tell us about a little bit about yourself and how you got into this whole thing.
I started to develop a real love for the American diner during my high school, prep school years at Solbury School in New Hope, Pennsylvania, when I ran on the cross-country team. And we used to stop in the diner in the evening after we'd run the cross-country meets. They were usually run on a Wednesday, midweek in the late afternoon, or on Saturdays at halftime of football games. And my prep school, Solbury, was located in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and we were members of what we called the Penn Jersey League at the time. And it ran many schools in New Jersey: Morristown, Friends, the Hun School, Perkiomen, for some. And I always recall the late, the evenings at the diners.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a milkshake, French fries, and a hamburger for $1. This is in 1964, 65, and 66. And I had always used to fantasize about being able to spend a Saturday night at one of these diners with a lady, at home,
mm-hmm.
with whom I had a high school crush.
Oh yeah.
And never, and missed her terribly, and wanted to be able to, be with her. So I had this, romantic, attachment to diners. And then, since after prep school, I went to school for a year in New Orleans,
mm-hmm.
and then Youngstown, Ohio, where I'm from.
Okay.
And then I lived in Western Mass, and I was in and out of school, unsettled. Went through a terrible bout of depression.
Mm-hmm.
Very directionless. Hospitalized myself 3
Wow.
times for depression. And the third time was a long-term hospitalization in Stockbridge, Massachusetts. And it was there that among the therapy, there was a great arts and craft part of the program,
mm-hmm.
right on Main Street in Stockbridge, called the Lavender Door,
mm-hmm.
which is still there, of course, today. And they had a darkroom there.
Uh-huh.
And I was given a camera, Canon camera, as a gift by my girlfriend at
mm-hmm.
the time. And looking back to my summer camp days as an adolescent, 10, 11, 12, I always enjoyed photography with my Brownie camera. And consequently, used to like shooting images.
Mm-hmm.
And never really took the interest any farther during my high school years, etc. I was also an avid American stamp collector. I still am. So I'm a philatelist of American U.S. stamps. And I have a great love for the American visual artists, especially the painters, and especially the 20th century, the mid-20th century. Among my favorites are Charles Birchfield and Fairfield Porter, Edward Hopper. More modern, the American photorealists, Richard Estes, for instance, Ralph Goings, and John Bader. And John Bader, who is still, I believe, an active painter, published 2 books on his watercolors. Most watercolors. Some, I may be wrong here. Watercolors and oils of the American diner.
Right.
John Bader, being what I feel is one of the more lyrical of the photorealists, and captured the American diner in tremendous affection.
Okay.